right, here we are. What episode are we in?
41.
Woo! Episode 41 of the What Say You podcast.
Oh, we're on?
We're on. We're going.
We're doing it.
We're in.
Wow, episode 41.
Oh, dude.
We recently, actually, I don't think we've discussed this.
No.
We recently had our 1 year anniversary.
That's right, we did.
And which means that you could tell by that there are 52 weeks in a year.
Sure.
And we've done 41 podcasts that we've been inefficient 9 times.
Well, we were making 2 TV shows. I think we did all right.
We were working. Yeah.
That
doesn't mean about the shows. Life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes life finds a way.
And, I think that 41 out of 52 weeks, pretty good.
They thought that those dinosaurs weren't going to be able to breed because they were all female. But life found a way.
Yeah, you're over my head now. I don't know what that meant.
It's Jurassic Park, dude.
Oh, okay.
When Grant is running through the jungle and they find the eggs and he's like, they shouldn't be able to breed. And he's like... And they were all supposed to die because they had a lysine deficiency, but they figured out a way through the food chain to fix that. Dr. Grant learned firsthand.
Is that what's his face?
The
sharp looking dude.
Wait, everybody's sharp looking in that movie.
The one the sharp looking dude, the one that's like he has like the haircut.
Oh, Dr. Malcolm.
He's like the guy.
What are you talking about?
He's like
what's the actor's name?
50. He has brown hair. He might have an accent.
Yeah,
he's like a famous actor.
Yeah.
I saw Jurassic Park in the theater.
Right, but who's in Jurassic Park?
Pam.
You don't know who's in Jurassic Park?
Yeah, it's Newman.
Okay.
Jeff Goldblum.
Right.
Jeff
Goldblum, I think
Vince Vaughn, part 2.
Is the one that said life finds a way, but...
who's the main character?
Alan Grant.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Who's the main female?
Sadler. Ellie Sadler.
Okay, I don't know. Where's she been?
She popped up briefly in part 3, but I think she had kids, and that was that.
But, other movies,
Oh, yeah, I think she had kids. I think life found a way out of a vagina, and that was that for that.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so we took 9 weeks off, she took 9 years off.
Yeah, she's still off.
It's her prerogative.
Sure, somebody.
Look, here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be a me and you episode. There's no guests. We're back in business. We have a lot to talk about.
Right.
A lot to cover.
Yes.
But, if you have an issue with the 9 weeks that we weren't able to do in a full calendar year, what did we use? The Greco-Roman, the Mayan?
We were using the Mayan-Roman calendar.
We used the Mayan-Roman calendar?
Yeah, that's what we're on.
Are we?
Yeah.
So then we used the calendar that said that we should have died December 21st.
Well, that's where the Roman part comes in. The Mayan part said we were supposed to die, then the Roman part keeps going.
So then we're using the Roman calendar, not the Mayan.
The Mayan Roman. Yeah, because it's still 7 days a week.
Is it the same exact calendar?
Yeah, it just doesn't end. It just keeps going.
But the Mayan calendar ended.
Yeah, but
So what day is it today for the Mayans?
Well, there is no more day. But it's based on what... According to the Mayans, we're all dead.
Right now?
We're dead.
Oh, they're sticking by that?
Oh, yeah.
They think that we died?
They are insisting that we are dead. Yeah.
That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard, and I do not shit on anybody's beliefs or religions, but I will take a big shit on the Mayans right now.
Well, I think we could safely say the Mayans are a bunch of stupid assholes.
The Mayans can go fuck themselves.
That's right. The Mayans, most of all, can go fuck themselves because essentially they had a death wish for all of us.
Like at 12 o'clock and 1 second.
Yeah.
Like, was every Mayan like, let me just go inside?
I think the thing is there are no Mayans left. Yeah, they died out way before.
There's people that were believing that that the world was going to end December.
Yeah, but those are just crazy. Those are just crazies.
Well, but they're Mayans.
No. I think the pure Mayans have their blood they're dispersed now.
Oh, like literally the blood, like they're extinct.
Yes, the Mayans are extinct as I believe it.
Yeah, but that's what you're saying is probably impossible.
Well, I'm saying there's probably still some Mexicans who have Mayan blood in them, as well as.
So they're Mayans.
Cubans. Yeah, but they're not pure Mayans.
Yeah, but if they have the Mayan bloodline and they believe in the Mayan way.
I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody believes in the Mayan way anymore.
Let's just say there's Mayans out there.
Okay, let's say there's Mayans out there.
At 12 o'clock, 01.
Yes.
At 12 o'clock and a second after 12 o'clock.
Sure.
We didn't get sucked into a black hole.
Right.
Did they turn their ringer off? Oh, they're like, oh, fuck, Gary's going to just bust my balls now. Because he was telling Gary that Gary was going to be dead. Like, their whole friendship, he was like, listen, you're going to be dead. You and your family's going to be dead. Sure. I'm going to be dead.
And that is a bummer at picnics.
It's a bummer. It's all he believes.
Sure.
And I'm sure it got heightened as we got closer.
Yeah.
Like there was signs, people were picketing and stuff.
He's probably giving away his hedge trimmers. Like, borrow them. Don't even worry about bringing them back.
Yeah, I wonder if he went and asked for all that shit back.
He couldn't do that.
If he's like, calls Gary up. He's like, Gary,
I hate to be a Mayan giver, but
that VHS copy of the net. I'm gonna need that back.
I'm gonna need that back.
No, I don't have a VCR. Just don't question. I just want it back. It's mine.
Yeah,
it's Mayan.
It's Mayan. I don't think so. I think that I don't think that there are active Mayans working today.
I just feel like that next day, that guy like does his daily routine. Everyone he passes in the neighborhood, he's like, hey,
what's his name?
Gotcha. The Mayan?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Eddie.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Can't help but
no, I got an appointment. I'm late for an appointment.
What appointment?
I gotta go do a thing.
But what appointment did you make? Because you thought you'd be dead today.
Oh, no, yeah, but I am dead.
Wait, what?
It's an afterlife appointment I have. You're dead. We're dead. We're all dead now. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. You're wrong. We're all dead now.
But I didn't even say anything. I'm just saying, hey, what's going on?
Did you hear that? I think I got it.
I didn't hear anything.
I gotta do something right now.
Where do you have to go? You literally...
that's my alarm.
By the definition of all the bullshit you've been saying for the past 5 years, you have no plans today.
Listen, what was your name again? Gene?
It's Gene.
Gene, look.
It's Gene Frankel.
Gene Frankel. Gene Frankel, I believe, is a famed actor.
Is he?
Yeah, Gene Frankel, right?
Hold on. Frankel?
I'm going to tell you the story about Gene Frankel. Hold on. I'm not shitting you. Gene Frankel. Okay, so Gene Frankel. Right. Let me tell you who Gene Frankel is. Good. There's a story behind Gene Frankel. Did you know there's a story behind him?
I knew the name was floating around.
Eugene V. quote-unquote Gene Frankel is an American actor, theater director, and acting teacher, especially notable for founding the off-Broadway scene.
Oh, he's still around?
He's legendary. No, he died in 2005.
Oh, okay.
Now, let me tell you the story of Gene Frankel.
Right.
Okay? There's a theater in New York City named after him, the Gene Frankel Theater.
Okay, a little on the nose, but yeah.
Yeah, the Tenderloins were performing there. Okay, early in our career, right? It was an off-Broadway theater, and we had 2 shows at the Gene Frankel Theater.
Right,
and this was probably sometime around 2002.
Okay.
He died in 2005, but I think he was either ill, and so something, I don't know. No, he wasn't. He wasn't ill. I don't know what the case was.
Something was going on with Gene Frankel.
He may have been ill. Let me see what Wikipedia tells me about his personal life.
Okay,
that's the way we live today. Family references, obits. Okay. Obit. No. He had 2 blah 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 blue blue Laura son bling blang after a lengthy coma and therapy to walk again. Okay, that was his son. Frankel create. Okay. Anyway, what have you? So what we did in the old days was the Tenderloins would name each show that we had.
Okay.
So if we did, and the reason you know this, you performed with us.
Sure.
But in the very, very beginning, we would just do like improv, and you would like guest perform.
Right.
And you'd come and do stuff with us, but like you weren't necessarily performing the improv every single show with us.
Right.
So I'm just stating this. So you know this, but so we would do shows, and we would just name the show something 100% random.
Right.
Shows were named things like, first it was like espionage, because that was also the title of the short film we made that went along with that show.
Sure, that makes sense.
What we used to do is do a short film, and we used to show it before we performed, and then that would be the name of the show. The next one was Speakeasy. The next one was Who Done Did It. The next one was like Cops or some stupid shit. Anyway, then after that, we just started naming them. Right. And we would basically see what we can get in print. That was the game, because all the papers like Time Out New York, The Voice, they would print the show to come see it.
Right.
So we named stuff like Dropping Deuces off Broadway, Shake Your Bon Bon Jovi and Light Syrup.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Sure.
what else we had? You remember Prakash Vishwanathan?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
we went to high school with Prakash.
We had Prakash,
and he was. If you saw the movie Bad Words, is he Bad Words yet?
Yes.
He was that kid.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I could not take my eyes off him the entire time. Really likable, ultra
awesome.
nerdy, quiet.
Everyone immediately loved Prakash.
Loved him, right. I don't think he got picked on, although I went to junior high school with Prakash.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I wish we hadn't said his name because I have an interesting story.
Well, tell me a story later about someone besides Prakash if you can think of a fun story about somebody else.
Yes, I can do that. Okay.
And so we started, improv became Timprov. So then we started calling this fake character named Timprov.
Okay.
And then Timprov became Tim Provolone.
Right.
And then we did a show called Tim Provolone Meets Prakash Viswanathan.
Brought it full circle.
Yeah, I don't know. All this shit. So then
Who's in charge of naming these things, Murray?
No, we all did, to be fair.
All right.
So then one time we were playing the Gene Frankel Theater. So we just thought it'd be funny to call it Gene Frankel Hurt His Ankle.
Sure.
Right. And then we're like, then someone we know wrote us, right? Someone I think that Murray went to school with. I forget who.
Right.
And they were like, hey, I just want you to know something. Gene Frankel is a respected part of this community and an actor and theater teacher and everything like that.
Oh my
and
God.
to name the show Gene Frankel Hurt His Ankle is disrespectful to him. And this was someone who was a friend of his and came to shows. I don't remember, dude. And it was so pretentious. And she was like, and I'm not going to the show now. And I might not go to other shows. Because, one time we named one Accidental Caucasian. Again, makes no sense. They would make no. Sure. We just wanted to see.
You're just making yourself laugh.
Caucasian in print.
Right.
So we're like, shit, other people are going to think this. And so we said, well, let's do something where she can't blame us.
Right.
So we renamed it Gene Ankle Hurt His Frankel.
Wait, you caved?
No. We didn't really cave to her. She didn't even come and we were like this fucking nutcase.
Right.
But we just thought it'd be funny to just as almost just toying with the whole thing.
Right.
That, all right, well, let's name it something that she should never say anything about. Because we're not talking about Gene Ankle, Frankel, we're talking about Gene Ankle.
All right.
And instead of Gene Frankel Hurt His Ankle, we named it Gene Ankle. Gene Ankle Hurt His Frankel. Right? Then we still wanted to do something offensive.
Right.
So she could have something else to complain about. So we named the show, and this is in all the print.
Yeah.
Gene Ankle Hurt His Frankel, and his fat wife's got gankles.
Did you ever hear anything?
No.
Oh, all right.
But that was in print. That was the name of the show.
Beautiful. That's how democracy works. Oh, by the way, I had meant to congratulate you on something. The overwhelming positive response to Joker's Wild. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. You knocked it out of the park. Your second TV show.
Yes.
You really stuck the landing on the sophomore effort, my friends. Universally beloved.
I had a list of things to talk about, and I actually forgot that one.
You forgot that one?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. So Joker's Wild right now is 3 eps in.
Right.
We have 4 eps. We had 6, but
the network felt about it like you felt about it.
No, we had 6.
Well, we shot enough for 6.
We shot enough for 6 and only 6.
Yeah.
We didn't really even have an extra sketch. It was the nature of the beast. We had
no time.
Time and budget, and so we did it, and we actually went a little heavy on the in studio portion.
Well, this is all we had time for.
Yeah,
because you could shoot in studio stuff just by standing there the day of.
Right, and so we figured if we get enough fun, which all the in studio stuff was completely improvised. If we get enough in studio stuff, then we'll actually have definitely enough material.
Right.
But then and I don't necessarily disagree. The network wanted to pare down the studio stuff, so it ended up being that we had just enough sketch wise to cover the 6 episodes.
Sure.
And then you're insane if you think on any show that there's not going to be discrepancies between.
Well, I mean, some sketches just didn't work. We felt.
Yeah, we definitely felt that.
So we couldn't air them, and then the network are the people who are putting up the money, and True has to be said is very good to us.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah. And they let us, actually, when we filmed it, they really gave us a little leeway. And, we disagreed with some of the stuff. I disagreed wholeheartedly with some of the stuff they cut, and I agreed wholeheartedly with some of the stuff they cut. And that's basically how it's going to go.
Right.
So the net is that we got cut from 6 to 4 episodes. We probably could have done more than 4, but 4.5 doesn't work.
Right, right. A lot of web content.
Yeah. But we'll see, because we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We may not ever want to do this ever again in our lives. Well, we may strike. Who knows? We don't know. But anyway, we're 3 weeks in, and I watch it, and I think that the show suffered from some of the choppiness of it.
Right.
I think it wasn't as cohesive as I would have liked it to be. But again, this is we're doing this. We skipped the pilot phase essentially.
Right.
And so we went from working out kinks in a pilot to working out kinks in 6
series.
episodes.
Right.
And that's the way that it goes. And the show has to find itself. If you watch the first season of Impractical Jokers, it is different than the second season.
Oh, it's a completely different.
And the second season is different than the third season. The show evolves. You kind of learn the show.
Well, you learn the show, and you learn what you like. You learn what the audience likes, because we are making a show for an audience.
That's right.
But then there's also there's a shift that happens where the network begins to loosen the reins up, and the show evolves because it comes more to our tastes.
Right.
So I'd say Practical Jokers now is very much closer to
our tastes. The beginning in Practical Jokers, while it was universally, critically and generally received really, really well, which we were shocked because I think you'll always be shocked because IJ was received so well,
right?
It was almost like an anomaly to us. Like that guy was insane. It was like 99.9% of people had nothing bad to say about it.
Right.
But if you do go and look at it back, it's a very different style of show. There's 5 challenges as opposed to 3, which makes for a lot shorter turns, and it's like in and out and a line, and you're out.
Right.
And we really always wanted it to breathe more. And to the network's credit, and to us, we found that. So. With Jokers, though, I think there's a case of that. And I also think there's a case of the public not understanding or accepting what's going on. First and foremost, if we're doing a pie chart, there's a portion of people that think Jokers is ending and being replaced with Jokers Wild.
That's
like we graduated from that to that.
Right.
So right away, people's beloved.
Sure.
There's no way this show is going to replace my favorite show or my beloved show.
And we're not doing that because for our life, like Impractical Jokers is the golden goose.
We know that.
Yeah. Like we're not blind to that. We're not unappreciative of that. Like none of us hate that fact.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Like that's still our show, and that's still what we love to do and everything. Yeah, but there are people who thought that we were replacing one with. A lot of people were like, "Oh, they're too recognizable now, so they can't do that anymore. So now they're going to do this."
Completely wrong.
Right, that's not true.
To my surprise and to my delight, Impractical Jokers, we can still make it. You just need a high traffic area with a lot of people. That's it. Because like I said, if a few people know us, 10 times more don't.
Right.
So that's no issue. I mean, Howie Mandel had a hidden camera show about 2 years ago called, I think, like How We Do It or something like that.
Right.
And he wore glasses.
Right.
And he did it. He's been a comedian for 30 years.
Sure. He's Howie Mandel. He's been in all aspects of entertainment.
So, anyway, but another section of that pie chart, another section of people just don't get the fact that it's supposed to be scripted.
These are the section of our audience, and believe me, I'm grateful for any audience that wants to tune and watch it. But I'd have to say that speaking just in terms of Jokers Wild, these are the people I called the audience duds.
Yeah.
Because how do you not fucking get this?
I mean, it was straight up, what is this? This is like, it's like scripted or something.
This seems too fake. This seems too scripted.
Yeah, like they didn't really go to the bank and get shot.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that actual comment.
Yeah, like wait, hold on. And then it's also like, we like you guys for you guys. Stop playing characters. It's like, okay, guys, this is just like, it's just another outlet to be creative and funny. It's not like I'm not losing my real person. Like they were like, this is bullshit. They're trying to act like this is real. It's fake. Like, we're not trying to act like it's real. Like, that is the point, guys. It's a variety show.
Right.
Like, in some of the sketches, it's a straight sketch. We're playing ourselves, but we definitely have lines.
Sure.
And we're characters of ourselves. In some of them, we just take a road trip and we actually are ourselves in that environment.
Right. Like Medieval Times was not scripted.
No, not at all. Not one piece of it.
Parts, well, there were like the part where I'm sitting there with the king and the guy comes by with the broom.
Right.
That was a little scripted bit.
Right.
Because that's a la cameraman.
Well, it was a scripted bit, but...
No, it wasn't a scripted bit. We just thought it'd be funny that day.
So there's a few types of things we do. One was like basically the bank, where the guys and I basically wrote a script.
Right.
We went to the bank and we shot that script.
Yeah.
There's another one like Medieval Times. That's where we decided it'd be fun to go to Medieval Times and turn the cameras on.
Right.
There was no script.
Right.
Now, in the moment, we thought it'd be funny to have Al, our friend, our camera guy, walk by with the broom, and then he tells you to shut the fuck up. So it's scripted in that way, but we thought of it in the moment. When we showed up at Medieval Times, we had zero. We did literally not know what we were going to do that day.
Right.
We spent the day there, and then we see what we have.
Sure.
So when I walked up to the merch table and I put on that voice, yes, that's true. That is not me being me like when you and I were training for the sword.
But it's you fucking around.
Right. So we're dipping in and out of these things, right? So when me and you were training for the swords, I was like, oh my God, holy shit. That was me being me, watching those guys fight with swords. When I walked up and asked for merch, that was me fucking around.
Right.
But it was still improvised and it was still set. So those are the two things.
And that lost a lot of people. That did lose some people.
It did.
And I have to say, because, I typically don't watch the shows.
Right.
Only because I lament choices that weren't made and I hate watching myself. Because I'm a fucking fat, disgusting slob and I can't stand it. But when I was in Florida with my parents, I was like, because my parents don't like Joker's Wild. And nor do they seem to mind telling me that, like, whenever they get a chance. So I sat down and watched it with them. And I knew the Joker's Wild episode was strong. It was the Medieval Times one.
I will say the first episode that we aired out of the gate, I do not think was the right episode to air.
Agreed.
Because it was pure written sketch and none of us playing ourselves.
It was a bit too much.
And I think we needed to wean the audience at large off of that.
So I sat down to watch, and I watched Impractical Jokers with them first, and it was a fucking home run episode. Us by the pool, you drinking the pool water. The punishment was one of my favorite punishments we've ever done. I was.
Was that? Which one was that?
It was you with the old people park. So I was surprised how much I was laughing at my own show. I was dying laughing, and then it's just such a tonal switch.
It is
to Joker's Wild.
It's almost like not the right lead-in.
It is. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I think the show would be better served on Tuesday night, and you know what I mean. Like, I don't think they're good stacked for each other. I really don't. It was, for me, it was way too different, and the pace of it. And I still found it funny because I think Medieval Times is one of the funniest things we've done, but it wasn't a laugh a second. You know what I mean? It's more like, let's drop in and hang out with these guys a little bit. It's amusing. They're funny.
Yeah, but that's actually, if you watch a sketch comedy show, like generally, like there's some little more meat to it. It's not a laugh a second. Impractical Jokers is designed to be punchline at the punchline at the punchline. Right.
That's why I don't think that they work too well together. However, all this being said, the amount of joy, and I hope it makes it into the documentary. We made a documentary on the road, on the tour that we just finished, the Impractical Jokers tour. We shot a documentary on it that it's going to be airing in True, I think, in January. And I know True will never air it, but we got on camera the reactions of us then the day after Joker's Wild first aired, going online and just seeing the slaughter that we took. It was thousands of comments of like, this sucks, fuck this. These guys, I love these guys on this show, but this is suck. Put this show out of the misery. And I just sat there and was reading comments to the camera, and Joe and I were laughing our asses off, and they'll never air it. It was a weird reaction to that level of I want to say hatred to the show. It was incredible.
Okay, so you're right. And I will say this, a couple other things. Then there's the bits like Joe's cholesterol. I'm a fan of that. I mean, it's different. It's us. That's zero scripted. Anything in the studio, we walked out from behind that thing.
No script whatsoever.
And literally started talking.
Right.
And then cut a little section that ended up being thematically connected to the next thing that was coming up. We tried to find that space. So if we were having a fight in Medieval Times, we tried to talk about if we ever fought. Right. Things like that. And there was no...
Just a thematic connection, if you could find it.
And with Joe's thing, he really took a cholesterol test.
Right.
We walked out there, really didn't know his cholesterol, guessed it. And it's like a little fun thing. We just tried to make it dynamic. You know what I'm saying? That being said, for Impractical Jokers, it's like people they're just going to compare. The only reason the two shows can be compared is that the four of us are in both of them.
It's the same cast.
Other than that, there's nothing to compare per se.
Yeah, but
and people are just going to say this is, especially 80 episodes into IJ and 1 episode into Joker's Wild.
Right.
They're going to be like, well, this isn't as good as this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then that's it. They're just basing. A lot of people are basing Joker's Wild on, is it as good as Impractical Jokers in their mind. And that's really not it. Now there are also a section of people that stand alone are judging it as a standalone thing and say it sucks.
Sure.
Mind you, there are people that actually really, really liked it and are like, this is great. It's back to old school. Like there was a whole section of those people too.
Yeah.
But just to address the people, and it's so funny, like the reasoning that like people like, oh, they got big now they want to act. Like, or like you said, people recognize it now, so now IJ's done.
Yeah.
Or, please, you guys are not good actors. Like, part of the fun of this is that we're not good actors.
Right. That's what I thought too, but I guess it's just, if I read Joker's Wild more like Joker's Mild one more time. So many people thought that was like the fucking dig of the century right there. I've read that so many times. Like, I would get like people like on because you could email us. I never answer you, so I don't know why anybody would bother email, but you could email me on Facebook, and like a lot of them would just said just like Joker's Wild, more like Joker's Mild. I was like, I started enjoying. Like, I went on a roller coaster ride of like, all right, I got it. All right, oh my god, these people are so fucking unfunny. Oh, these unoriginal fucking assholes. Oh wait. They're still coming.
That rule of
oh, it is Joker's Mild. It's another Joker's Mild comment.
And there are things that aired, and I hate the way they're cut. I do not like the way we had to make some substitutions that I didn't think worked. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm telling you that I feel that the end result was not as good as it could have been.
Sure.
Then again, I will go to bat for some of the stuff. Like, I think the fucking bank sketch is the funniest.
Bank sketch is awesome.
We were crying, laughing, doing it.
Right.
I love it. I love what it shoses. I'm proud of it. I guess it's just not for everybody, but we'll see. We'll see. This week coming up, we actually another time we went to our high school, and that was not scripted at all. We did all that on the fly.
Right. Well, Murray had his speech he wanted to make, and all those questions with. It was funny because this is a great.
I actually ended up liking Murray's speech. I didn't.
It made me laugh.
I didn't when we shot it, but I liked it when
it made me laugh. The stuff with me and Mr. Cummings, like the thing where I got the answers all wrong. My father was sitting next to me, and he was like, "You couldn't get any of these right," and I was like, "Pop." I was like, "Don't be a fucking idiot."
I was like, asked the same thing, dude. But I was asked, "Is this real or fake?" And I was like, "It's fake."
It's of course I'd right. Like, the funnier choice is to get all the answers wrong.
But we were still improvising.
We were still improvising.
Like those kids, like you ran out. We didn't know you were going to run out.
Right, you had that great line. It was such a great line.
We didn't know we were going to say any of that.
Yeah.
And when I went in, like all of us, actually, Joe didn't know what he was going to do. When I went in and played Magic the Gathering, I had no idea what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And those kids were so. I give those kids so much credit. We asked them if I could come in and play Magic the Gathering with them. They said yes.
They were great.
I never met them before I walked in that room.
Right.
I never saw them in my life. I sat down, I said, play the game, and I'm just going to say whatever I want, and we'll go from there.
And they were great.
And that is what happened. And they were the fucking funniest kids.
Yeah. They weren't even, like, I don't even think that the people who watched that episode could get a grasp of how awesome they were. Because they were great, but we were just stunned. We were like, we have a room full of, like, little stars here.
It was like 3 times as long as that, and we had to cut it down for TV, and they said some of the funniest shit. Remember when I think I gave him money to buy the cards,
right?
And he's going to give back, and one kid puts his hand in and he goes, "No, let him pay."
Yeah, it was great.
It was so funny, but anyway, so if you like it, you don't like it, go fuck yourself.
Right.
But we got one more episode. It's been fun, and we'll see what happens from it. We'll see what happens.
Right.
But the people that are like die, like that you should all just kill yourself.
Sure,
that's heavy, I think.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had that reaction to something in pop culture.
Like, I watched the TV show, the 22-minute show. I think that you should go.
Your life should end.
Die now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, because that person like logged on.
There's so many levels that you could go through before that. You could even if you still want to be mean, it's just like, hey, I watched the show. You should never work again in comedy.
Right.
Like that's still a caustic
Which
sting.
isn't true because you watch it because you were interested because you like the other show.
Right. But
How about I watch your show, I don't like it.
it's not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah, but I don't care. Like I got a lot of amusement out of people's comments.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do. I don't know why I respond better to like fucking anger, but a lot of them like really made me laugh. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
I will say that even though it was a tough schedule, I had a lot of fun filming it.
Yeah,
and and the show in my head that I would have assembled
right
over the 6 episodes, I liked.
Yeah,
and I don't not like it now, but obviously it would be impossible for us to have it exactly the way we want it. It doesn't work that way.
Right. It's
a committee here, and True owns the show. So, and I'm sure that if we would have had it our way, True wouldn't have liked it totally. So that's the way it goes. But I do stand by it. I do stand by it. Not that I'm defending it, but
right.
I not stand by it. I should say I do think that it's fun and funny. I enjoyed it.
Sal. Hello, Sal.
You know what? We just finished talking about people that are unreasonable.
Yes, I watched
I'm not going to talk to a sociopath now.
I watched your new show. Nugget thought it was delightful.
Oh, really?
Yes, I liked watching you die on screen.
Ah, that's the rub.
It was delightful to watch all of you die.
I didn't die. We got shot. We did not die. So don't project.
Oh, no. I meant your career dying. Nugget means... Nugget means
metaphorical bullet.
Nugget means your career died on screen. Nugget appreciated it. Nugget said, now that's comedy.
Oh, man, we should have had Nugget on the show.
Yeah,
he's in the back.
He's in the background.
He's in the background.
Yeah, he's in the background.
Oh, real quick, too. Because we went from 6 to 4 episodes and they cut a few sketches, what we had was a mailbag segment in all 6 episodes.
That's right.
And what we did was in every single mailbag segment, we had a different mailman come out. And those mailmans were all of our friends, and they were all usually comedians or what have you. And the people that lent their time for us on that, they came just on short notice, all within a couple of days' notice, because we had the idea to switch it up late.
Right.
And they did it for nothing. They just donated their time and did us a favor. Those people were Jiggy, our friend Mark, who opens for us. He was in the first episode. Adam Richman.
Yes, he was in the second or third.
Second or third, I'm not sure.
Right.
He aired. Nick Turner, who is a friend and a New York comic, and he was our warm-up comic for the series.
Yeah.
Those 3 aired. Because of the nature of all the cutting, they had to cut the other 3 mailbag segments. And reason for that, among many, is that we wear the same outfits in the episode.
Right,
so on the 4th episode, obviously if you're cutting from 6 to 4, we got to cut 2 mailbags.
Right.
But that 4th mailbag also had to be cut.
Because of wardrobe.
Right. So the other people were Chris Gethard, who was
there. Everybody was great.
He was great. They were all great. Chris is a New York comedian, and he has his own show called The Chris Gethard Show. It's on Blip TV and MNN in Manhattan. And he's New York legend. And he's the best in the world. And my dad was a mailman, and he did great.
He was so
funny. My dad really took it hard when I told him.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, we still have the footage.
Not hard, but he was like, not because he wanted to be on TV, but he wanted that me and him doing something together like that, But he's on the other show. But I told him that we're going to get into stuff, and then of course Steve Byrne
from Sullivan and Son,
yes, who is a great comedian and our good friend.
Yeah, one of the nicest guys in showbiz.
He canceled an interview, press interview that he had to come donate his time, and he killed. Yeah. He walked in and just ripped us to shreds.
Yeah, he ripped us apart. He owned the building. It was great.
One other thing of note, a sketch that got cut was also from Sullivan's on our friend and comic Roy Wood Jr. Oh, you know these guys because they've been guests of ours. And Roy...
Well, we're going to show that somewhere. We're going to get that.
Yeah, Roy played a genie.
Yeah.
Obviously a black genie that we rubbed and popped out, and then was a little too subservient for our
tastes.
And it just felt off. And in the middle of it, we were playing basketball with other black friends, and it was kind of a sketch based in awkwardness. He flew he flew here after the festival in Nashville.
Right.
Like he took a red eye and just showed up
Just
on
to do
no
it.
sleep and to do it.
Yeah.
And he did it for free, and he did it to do us a favor. And they understand. These guys all understand.
Sure,
it's the
of
nature
course.
of the beast. In fact, when I told them all, they said it was an honor just for you to ask us, and that we do it any time ever again. So they're just class acts, and we just want to say thank you to those guys.
Right.
And that's that. And hopefully it'll see the light of day somewhere else.
Nice. All right.
So that's out of the way. I have a bunch of stuff to talk about. While we're on criticism,
Okay.
I got a letter. We got a letter to the office.
All right.
I got 2 letters here, and I'll let you choose which one you want to hear first or second.
Well, is this more stuff about Joe Goes Wild? Or is it...
Zilch.
Okay.
Zilch. Do you want to hear the letter entitled... actually, sorry. This got sent to Minneapolis, to the theater we were performing at that night.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
The theater came back and said, you have mail. This was handed to me, and it is just addressed Funny Men.
Funny's not spelled right.
Funnymen.
Okay.
So which one you want to choose first?
The one that goes to the theater. That has piqued my interest. Because that other one looks like a child wrote it. Yeah. Okay. So this got sent to the Orpheum Theater.
Yes.
In Minneapolis.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Handwritten. Sheet of loose leaf.
Right.
Okay. To all 4 of you.
Oh, all right.
I've been wanting to write to you, but didn't know where I could send a letter to you until I just read in our local paper where you will be.
Okay.
This month. My son got me started watching you, and I cried from laughing over the dentist chair one.
Right.
Very funny, underlined.
Okay.
As time has gone on, your shows are getting dirtier and dirtier.
Okay.
And I hardly watch you at all now. Body parts, dirty words, nasty things, a woman's period.
Nasty things.
Just reading you what she wrote.
Okay.
She says...
Nasty things?
This is what she's taking umbrage with here.
Okay.
Body parts, dirty words, nasty things, a woman's period.
So a woman's period and body parts are to be avoided and are shameful things according to her.
That's what she said.
Okay. Because I don't feel that way. I don't feel that the human body and its functions are disgusting or anything like that. But all right. Let's keep going.
I don't know this lady's composition really. So
sure.
All right. I know you don't have to do these things to get a laugh and big money.
Well, if you could tell me what I need to do to get big money, I would fucking greatly appreciate it. Because I am making enough Nugget shirts. I'll tell you that.
By the way, we have new merch available for purchase. Either way, tell me what I can do to make a laugh and big money, please. I'll listen to anyone who can tell me what to do for either of those things.
All right.
Come on, boys.
Oh.
I raised 3 sons, now grown with families of their own. Yes, I am 76 and not into, never have been into, what you're putting out there. You're on a high now, popular with the younger crowd, but someday you'll come down. And maybe not so proud of your actions.
I mean, she sounds like a Mayan at this point.
Exactly.
This point.
Yeah. I think the PS says beware 12, 21, 12. Okay. I feel sorry for you that you think this is the norm. And I'm sorry to say I agree with you.
Wait, what?
I feel sorry for you that you think this is the norm. And I'm sorry to say I agree with you.
So, okay. So,
so she might be like, you think this is the norm, and you know what? So does everybody else.
Yeah, you guys are just swimming in the filth.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Swearing, showing disrespect to people and yourself. I don't know what episode she's watching, by the way.
Well, we've shown disrespect to ourselves. I agree with that.
But I don't think that we purposefully try to be like, if there's like more than like 2 blue jokes an episode, we're like, yank it.
Right.
Like, this show is not going to be just all piss, shit, sex, but whatever. Like, and we are so adamant.
We police ourselves pretty strong.
Yes, I don't know what exactly.
A sex joke or a scatological joke has to be really funny to make it on our show. Because we've tried to keep that stuff out.
Yeah. All I can do is shake my head and turn your show off.
Or write a letter.
Sure.
You could also write a letter.
4 nice-looking men. Oh, she wants to fuck us now. No, she wants to fuck us, probably.
Well, all right. Hold on. She's winning me
now
back.
She wants to bet us in a way that is just,
Well, she has 3 sons, so she puts out.
4 nice-looking men, and that is where your minds are? God gave you good minds and sense of humors, and look what you're doing with it. So sorry.
Did she leave a phone number?
She left her address on her name.
Not her phone number?
She left her full address and name. I don't know if she's expecting to say. But that is a little bit of a lashing, huh?
It's a little bit of a lashing, but it also seems a bit hypocritical. It seems a little bit hypocritical. She is 76, though, so right away I don't want to argue with her. Like, I'm just like, she's an old woman.
Right.
She's entitled to her way. She's from the old school.
You know what's so funny? Like, moments after like we received this letter, Joker's Wild Ad, we're at the bank and we're ripping on that old lady.
All right. Hey, man.
You know what? You're entitled to your opinion.
Sure.
We've read it. We've put it out there for you. And we respect it. We're allowed to disagree with it.
Right.
But hey, and I don't know. If I'd be the first one to be like, oh, we're definitely getting too blue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I disagree that God gave us good minds. But
yeah.
So I think she's not factual.
I mean, really, she's kind of saying we're just disgracing ourselves, our families,
sure,
and our fans.
Right. Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Are you sure she didn't just mean Murray? Because if you just apply that to Murray, I agree with a lot of that letter.
It has a whole different tone.
Yeah.
Whole different tone.
Well, can you reread the letter but just say Murray instead of or no? I mean,
to all Murrayview.
Right. To Murray. Right.
Murray, I've been wanting to write you, but I didn't know where I could send a letter until I found out in my local paper you'll be this month. My son got me started watching you, Mur, and I cried from laughing. No, she would never say that.
Okay, right. So right away. By the way, we should say, because we just got from the tour, and there was, at one show, there were 8 What Say You t-shirts in the front row.
Yeah.
And
feeling the love.
Yeah, it was, we're seeing it, we're feeling it. Murray hates it. If you come backstage to meet us at the meet and greets with wearing that shirt, he will sign it and ruin the shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
Yeah, so you could decide whether you want his signature and protest on the shirt,
right,
or be aware that it's going to happen and fucking karate chop his shit away.
Yeah.
And don't let him do it. Whatever you choose, but Murray just cannot stand to see us doing our own thing without being policed by him.
Right. But there were a lot, and thank you for that. And if you wear that shirt to the show, I got to be honest, like I pay a little bit more attention to you.
I swear to God,
I do.
I will say this: my favorite fan is the podcast fan.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean like if you're listening to this, I mean you're
right. You're in the club, right?
You're in the club. It doesn't mean I take anything away from the national TV. I think that this is just a more intimate exchange, and I think that if you're taking the time to download this and listen to it on your time.
Right.
And I just think that we share a lot more. I just feel more of a connection with the podcast fan.
100%. That's how I felt about Tell 'em Steve Dave fans for years and years. It's a different breed of people.
Yeah.
A better breed.
And you guys are coming to the shows and the freaking things that you're doing between like, it's just so much fun besides the shirts, but just all this. Even if you could when you make a reference, I eat it up.
Sure.
I eat it up.
I've started putting in references to Tell 'em Steve Dave, sprinkling in the show.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh dear is one of them. There's a couple of others, and like that always gets like a little shout out from the audience. It gets them excited because fuck it.
Yeah. Let me read you.
I'm standing next to you on stage because every time we stand in the same spots on stage,
right?
And we're retiring this show that we do now. For all of you that have come to our live shows that have seen the same material, we're retiring that at the end of this year. So we're doing these shows in Manhattan in November. Where are they? Where are those shows?
Oh, we're doing 10 podcasts, Tenderloins podcasts.
Right.
We're back.
And
we're doing them live. The first 4 are already on sale, and they're at the Highline Ballroom.
Sure.
And they're in November. And then the next, and that's, when I say 4, there's 5 nights of them, and there's 2 shows each night.
Right.
There's 2 nights in November where we're doing 4 shows at the Highline, and then I think November and December, there's 3 other nights, 2 shows a night where we will be announcing, I think, this week that we're doing them at the Cutting Room.
Right.
And that's it. They're going to be limited to, I think, 200 seats.
Yeah, they're very small theaters, right?
And we're going to be, all 4 of us, we're going to do the podcast. And it's also going to be basically us riffing, writing, improvising, fooling around with the audience, and writing the new Tenderloins tour that's going to take place next year. So it's kind of our way to work out new. You're going to see completely new stuff.
We're making it up on the spot.
Making it up on the spot. New material, testing stuff out. It's going to be real loose and informal. It's going to be real intimate. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be, because we haven't been able to do that in a long time.
Right. And that's my preferred way of doing things. Like when you and I went to London and did it, it was fucking fun. We had such a great time.
Right.
The audience had a great time. But as a result of just the way we've been doing things for almost 2 years now, is I stand by myself on the end. Not by myself. It's you, Joe, Murray, then me. And those were just spots we just picked when we went on stage one day.
Right.
And as a result, I stay on the opposite end of the stage of you, and I have no one to play off to my right. So I said, hey, this time I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna make sure I stand next to you for a little what say you synergy on stage.
So why don't we do it like this? Why don't we do you, me, or me, you, you, me, because that was you were on the end too. You, me, Joe, Murr.
Right. Well, I don't want to be in the end again. I definitely want to be in the middle. I want to be able to play off on two sides, which I haven't done.
But if you're
yet.
In the middle, that means one of us has to be next to Murr.
Well, I've been next to Murr for 2 years, so that doesn't.
I can't be next to him.
So then you have to stay on the side.
Me. Yeah. So we'll do me, you, Joe, Murr.
Sure. Whatever. I just want the ability to play off both sides. I don't even mind if Murray's next to me in the middle of the stage. It's so like.
Oh, if you don't mind that,
right?
Then it'll be Joe, me, you, Murr.
That I could live with.
Okay, I can't even live with that.
Sure, that's. No, he's a good comedic partner up on stage. It's not him so much. It has
nothing to do with. I don't even mean it like that. Like me and Murray just don't. We like oil and water. That's all.
Okay.
And he runs over to me and I run over to him on stage already. We have bits with each other.
Right.
But if I'm near him, he's gonna step on my fucking feet. He's gonna do that. Like whenever Murray's near me, he's gonna put his feet up and have his socks out.
Sure, right.
That's
fine. I don't mind being next to Murray at all.
That might be good because all we're doing is inverting. Because
that's fine.
Me and you were never in the middle.
Right.
So there you go.
Sure. So there'll be like a little. I have complete confidence in our ability to get up on stage and just riff for 6 shows.
Can't wait to do it.
10
shows.
10 shows. Right.
Yeah, but they're real small. So. And they're going to be priced completely differently. I think.
Oh my god, yeah! And we're not doing meet and greets.
I think they're like $22.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing meet and greets. Right. I don't know if we're going to have an opener. If we do, it'll just be a very informal friend that gets up. But we might not even do that.
Sure.
But anyway, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like the Highline Ballroom shows, the 4 of them, they're already on sale, and the cutting room shows will go on sale. I think within a week.
Right.
So I hope you guys can make it. Now
we got another letter.
This one says funny men.
Okay.
On the envelope. FUNNEYMEN. It is written from a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's think typical child handwriting.
Sure.
I'd say somewhere around 7 to 10 years old. And there's also accompanying photos. And this is just a great one.
Right.
This says, and maybe I'll read it phonetically. I don't know. I like your show a lot. I will show how I like it with a picture. I will show how I like it with a picture, but it says I will show how I like it with a PICSHER, a picture.
Jesus Christ! Nobody double checked this kid's work.
We had a possible dud on our hands here.
Yeah, I mean, this is all right. It's a dud child so far, but all right.
I actually love the way kids spell, man. Yeah. So he spelled it phonetically. PICSHER, picture. I like your show a lot. I will show you how I like it with a picture. And then he has a stick figure with a word bubble come out of it. It says, ha, 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 ha. Right. That's how many ha's it is.
All right.
And then is a television set, a flat screen television set.
Yeah.
And then
is that his mom and dad?
His mom and dad. And there's a mom watching it. It says, ha, 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 ha. And there's an arrow and it says, my mom cracks up like this.
Okay.
And then at 30 it says, and so on.
And so on. What's your reaction if you get that letter and you open it up and it's like the same exact thing except the mother is performing oral sex on the father?
I go right to the authorities.
The authorities?
Yeah. directly.
You got involved right away.
Yeah. I mean, like,
same exact letter. Everybody's still laughing. The mom still has a laughter coming out of her mouth. There's just a giant, like, stick figure penis in her mouth.
Right to the authorities. Right to the authorities. I make a citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Well, somebody handed that to you, so you wouldn't even know where to.
Right. Written by your hugest fan, Corbin.
He's got no way to quantify that. That's a boast that he's making. That there's no way he can back that up.
Written by your most
supple,
hyperbolic,
right? Not supple.
It also says Wrighten, Writen.
I mean, you got to hand it to the old bat in the other letter. At least she has some fucking diction skills.
I'd like to see a debate between her and Corbin. I didn't name her because I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want a witch hunt to ensue. I would love to see a debate between her and Corbin, right, where she's like, God gave them whatever, and he's like, what?
All right.
I will say this. Speaking of the law and going straight to the authorities.
Yes. Oh, we had an incident.
Where are we on
We're
this?
51 minutes.
Are we?
Yeah.
This is either going to push this into a very super episode,
right,
or we could divide it into 2 eps.
Let's go on a super episode.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's just do it and see what happens. We'll see how we feel at the end of the story. Because this is a good one.
Okay.
You got a lot. You got a lot over there. You got a pile of topics ahead of you.
All right. So on tour, 3 days in, we also want to discuss the tour and the bus and stuff, and just some fun shit that happened. And we're going to get to that. But let me start with an instance that happened on the tour.
Right.
Now, for those of you who don't know, we just got back from a cross-country bus tour. Started in Syracuse, ended in Vegas, was about 3 weeks long. Fucking great. 3 days in, we're in Toledo. We go on stage. And when we come off the stage to go to the meet and greet, Murray goes to look for his suit jacket. Murray wears a suit every night on stage.
Right. Very relatable to the common man. Yes. He wears a bow tie and a suit.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. We got off stage. We went to the meet and greet. Right. He took his suit jacket off. While we were in the meet and greet, which is where we just kind of meet and hang out with all the fans, we came back and we were leaving.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
We were on Seth Meyers. And
that's another topic we got to talk about.
But he wore a bow tie on Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
Did you get family members contacting you, being like, "What the fuck is that guy wearing?"
Like Farrakhan.
Did it happen? Because I got like 4 texts that was just like, "Can you slap that bow tie off that fucking head?" It was like cousins I haven't spoken to in like 2 years.
I actually love a good bow tie.
Yeah.
Murray wears it differently than I would wear it. Which is to say, not the bow tie itself, but the entire ensemble with the bow tie.
He's got like an uncool Orville Redenbacher like way about him.
Yeah, it's like the thing with Murray is that like the jacket's nice, the bow tie's kind of nice, but like I wouldn't wear that. Never mind the print of that and the matching shirt. I wouldn't do that. I would wear my bow ties and have one in a very different way. Here, no, there. The fact that he has to go with the purposefully new but looked worn out jeans with his suit jackets and ties all the time
right,
is such an old style.
Right.
It's literally like Full House, like fucking Uncle Jesse, I tell you, he looks like the substitute teacher from an 80s sitcom.
Right.
The one that comes in and he's trying to relate to the kids.
Right.
And he's got his faded jeans on, but he's got the tie. So he's professional, but he's hip. He's a young teacher.
Sure. He's like the mullet of teachers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to reach out to you. He's going to understand. The faculty's going to look and be like, oh, he's the one that's both of us. He's the one that's going to change things. He's our conduit to the voice of the kids.
Right.
He's the hip teacher. He's going to do all the after school programs. He'll lead this club and that club. He'll lead the dance.
Right.
We'll go through that.
Right.
And then if we need anything, and then he's like, listen, I can talk to the kids about anything. I talk to him about Pac-Man.
Sure.
I talk to him about Rubik's Cube. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to talk about? Like anything you want to talk about.
Right.
And then he'll go into the teacher's lounge and talk to the teacher about Dynasty.
Sure.
Falcon Crest.
Who shot JR? It's all on the tip of his tongue.
He's towing that line. Or so he thinks. The only problem is it's fucking 2014. So, That's the only problem. So the kid doesn't know what the kids don't know what the fuck Rubik's Cube is,
right.
And even the adults right now don't know what the fuck Dynasty is or Falcon Crest.
Right.
So
and they all agree on the bow tie.
I respect him, and I told him before for keeping his head shaved when I told him to, and I respect him for trying a new style. I really do. He goes, I said to him, bow tie. He goes, try it.
Sure.
But what he does is, and this is how Murray shops, it's the only way he shops, and it's the only way he does anything. If he sees something new, he goes to it 200%.
Right.
So he says, bow ties. I'll take 10.
Right.
and then he wears a bow tie every day for 6 months.
Right.
And bow ties are his thing.
Right. And then he's on to the next thing. Which is that's an admirable, there's very little room for error when you live like that, but it's not a bad way to go.
I applaud him for taking the risk to try new things,
right.
But sometimes it's a swing and a miss.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like he's playing baseball with a bat that has a fucking huge hole in it. So, what else? Another thing he's never lost is his Capizios. And the Capizio and jeans are a staple. It seems to be like if he's that cardboard cutout when you're a kid where you could put different outfits on, like they're like paper outfits, and you fold the tabs over the back and you change the outfits. I feel like he has no accessories for below the belt,
sure.
But the accessories really fluctuate up top,
right.
But he's gonna stick with his jeans that look faded, but not from wear,
right?
Just from that's the style,
sure.
Which those, by the way, those have come and gone. Those two,
yeah, they really
those have gone. Those were like early 2000 jeans.
Right.
Even 90s jeans. The Capizios, if you don't know what a Capizio is, Google it. The Capizio is a famous shoe. It's like a tap shoe that was famously worn by Michael Jackson.
Right.
That was his and Michael Jackson did the moonwalk in it and everything.
Sure.
And Murray, while they're probably not legitimate Capizios, we just completely generalize every dress shoe he wears with his
he'll throw a penny loafer in there. It's got like that gold link thing on the front of it.
He's either wearing the broken in jean or the cotton Docker. And whatever though, he's wearing
Pleats McGee over there.
He's gonna wear that loafer hard, right? And he has so many of them. And when he walks, it's like a cobbled like wooden shoe, and he comes clocking down the stage like a fucking Clydesdale. Right? But he owns it, but we call them Capizios.
Right.
And like Murray and his fucking Capizios. And Joe usually takes these shoes and just throws them like a fucking broken boomerang. That'll never come back. And it is so funny. Now, I will say this though, that I'm saying this right now, I owned real Capizios.
Sure, but when?
Multiple. I'll tell you when I owned them. I owned them when I was in grammar school.
Right.
I owned them about ages 5 to 8. And I will say this. What are you looking up?
No, I have a surprise for you, but unrelated to this. Yeah, keep going.
So 5 to 8, I had Capizios, and the reason for that is I wanted to be Michael Jackson. I emulated Michael Jackson as much as I could.
Sure.
I bought the red jacket. But like not the one like from Thriller, but like the members only one that kind of looked like it.
Right.
And I had the Capizios, and did I ever tell you this? I used to walk around. I shouldn't tell you this.
No, go for it. Go. What are you talking about?
Mid sentence. No.
Come on.
This lie.
We're united in Murray on this. Don't worry about it. It's not going to turn on you.
Okay. So when I was little, I used to do like impressions.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I would do basically for my family.
Okay.
So, like, they would sit on a couch or at dinner, and I would go into the room, change an outfit, come out, do an impression, go into the room, change an outfit, come out, do an impression. Most of it was other members of my family or George Jefferson.
Okay.
That's it. But the other one was always Michael Jackson.
So you were like Corey Feldman.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't have a hat, but I did do
He never gave that up.
No.
He still does it.
I know.
Yeah.
I did do he came out and said he got molested by Michael Jackson recently, I think.
No.
Oh, maybe not him. It was that other guy. It was that dance teacher, Wade Robson.
Molested him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
That's what he says. I don't know. Anyway, that's I don't know about that, but I used to wear for like a year or like 2 years, like every day wore a glove.
Yeah, but in the heat of the 80s.
But I wore a glove.
Yeah, but that's all right. You were a child in the heat of like the biggest global phenomenon superstar ever.
Yeah.
Like that's different than
okay, thank you.
Yeah, than being like a fucking
That's what I was trying to
I used to dress like Indiana Jones.
Okay.
I used to walk around my neighborhood like a fedora.
A bit more cooler and acceptable even now though.
Yeah, Yeah, you know, I mean, I never got, but it's like, I get it. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you know.
But I was looking before we started, actually. I don't know. I was looking for an old album, and I have a picture of me dressed as him doing
I'd love to see that.
yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
And I have the glove right this second in that drawer right there.
Really? You kept the glove?
Time. Yeah.
All right.
I'll put up a picture of that glove.
Okay.
I gotta remember to do that. All right, so I think this episode is pretty full right now.
Yeah.
It was good. A lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot more to talk about. So we'll get that the follow up episode to this out real quick. But that's it. Just come see the podcasts.
Right.
And tenderloins.com is where you can find it.
You can find that.
And one other thing of note, we do have two more tour weekends in the year 2014, and a really significant one is I think it's November 15th. We're in Torrington, Connecticut.
Right.
And there's 2 shows that night, and at that show, we are recording that show to be a special on True TV.
Right.
And so our live show is going to air on True TV, and that's going to be cut together with all the documentary footage, and that's going to be the special. And that is the second weekend in November, the Torrington, Connecticut show.
Right.
And that's bookended with Providence, Rhode Island, and Rochester, New York.
Right.
And then there's one more weekend in December. So just check the tenderloins.com. Come see the podcast. Come see the live taping. That's going to be great. And especially we urge you to come if you haven't seen the show.
Right. And just one more thing I want to say before you make your phone call, is a lot of people have been coming up and saying that they've started podcasts and they've been asking for Declan's info.
Great.
And I keep forgetting to do it. So just go to creakystudios.com. Declan is the guy who masters our podcast, all of Kevin Smith's network podcasts. He's helped, what's his name? The big guy, Mark Maron. He's a podcasting genius. He'll help you out and he'll do it at a good price. So go to creakystudios.com. If you're thinking about doing a podcast, I can't stress enough how much fun it is to do a podcast. That's why we do it. It's the only reason we do it.
It's great.
So and there you go. All right. So we end every episode of What Say You with Sal calling a random person.
Block my number.
Block your number. Very good. Do you have a?
I do. I just looked it up. I'm going to do Toledo. Being that Toledo is where we're leaving off and where we're going to continue.
Great.
Next episode.
Okay. Great.
So I'm dialing a random number in Toledo. And let's see what happens. I want to prep questions for this too. I keep forgetting. Yo, that's a ring.
That's a ring.
Gate. Out of the gate. Fuck.
Well, thank you for listening to What Say You?
Episode number 41.
It's getting defeating, these phone calls at the end, but we'll get another win in sooner or later. We'll be back next week, just Sal and I, with a story that has to be heard to be believed. All right, thank you guys.
I heard that Rome wasn't built in a day. Then how come everyone is rushing to get ahead? And if I seem to be reserved, that's just my way. Your questions seem like you're interrogating me. Yeah, I try. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Okay. I heard the lemon metaphor 4 million times, and I don't stand for lemonade, don't ask me why. And would a beverage stand be a job that be desired? And where would I get the wood, and should I try? Should I try? Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a 65. Yeah, I try, yeah, then again I don't try. I get an F for effort. I might as well just and seed don't grow like leaves on trees, then how come my money comes and goes so seasonally? And I wish farmers planted plants instead of thieves. My friend pays a ton of green for greener groceries. Yeah, she tries, then again she don't try. She gets an F for effort. She'll plant a tree next time. Yeah, she tries, then again I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Yeah, I try.